Picture a dimly lit London studio in 1880 where a polished gentleman in a tailored suit adjusts a camera, his eyes glinting with unspoken intent. A young woman, barely 18, fidgets nervously, her gaze fixed on the floor. The click of the shutter hides a darker truth. Under the guise of artistic photography, some Victorian men preyed on the vulnerable, weaving a web of scandal that society ignored. What secrets lurked behind these private sessions? Why did no one stop them? Stay with me, because this tale of deception, power, and betrayal will grip you until its shocking end. In Victorian England, propriety ruled the day, but shadows hid unspeakable vices. London's streets buzzed with innovation, gaslights, railways, and the new art of photography. Wealthy gentlemen, cloaked in respectability, embraced cameras as tools of creativity, capturing portraits of high society. But some, like the fictional Sir Henry Ashford, a charming aristocrat with a Mayfair studio, used photography for darker purposes. His artistic sessions, advertised as avant-garde, drew vulnerable women, seamstresses, governesses, and orphans, lured by promises of fame or coin. Sir Henry's studio was a velvet-draped sanctuary, its walls lined with mahogany and brass tripods. He targeted women like Eliza Carter, a seamstress escaping poverty, offering her a modeling fee she couldn't refuse. His manners were impeccable, his smile disarming, but his sessions stretched late into the night. Whispers spread among servants. Women left his studio shaken, their eyes haunted. Yet society turned a blind eye. Sir Henry was a gentleman, above reproach. The era's obsession with modesty silenced victims who feared ruin if they spoke. By 1881, Sir Henry's reputation grew, his photographs displayed in elite galleries. But rumors of his private collection, images never shown publicly, circulated among London's underbelly. Some women vanished after sessions, their names fading into workhouse records. Others, like Eliza, returned but changed, their spirits dimmed. The police, swayed by Sir Henry's status, dismissed complaints as hysteria. As his influence spread, so did the scandal, threatening to crack the facade of Victorian virtue. Sir Henry's hobby thrived in London's hidden corners. His studio, a labyrinth of curtains and locked doors, became a stage for manipulation. He flattered his subjects, praising their ethereal beauty, while posing them in ways that pushed propriety's edge. Gowns loosened, gazes coerced. Eliza, desperate for work, endured his lingering touches, mistaking them for artistic zeal. Each session chipped away at her resolve, her fear of scandal keeping her silent. Sir Henry's charm masked a predator's control, his camera a tool of exploitation. London's elite, though suspicious, protected their own. Sir Henry dined with lords and MPs, his wealth shielding him from scrutiny. He cultivated allies, like Mr. Charles Worthing, a gallery owner who praised his genius while ignoring whispers of missing models. The press, hungry for gossip, printed veiled hints, but never named him. Libel laws favored the powerful. Meanwhile, women like Eliza faced society's scorn. A governess, Mary Poole, who spoke out, was branded a liar and dismissed from her post. The city's underclass began to murmur. In Whitechapel's taverns, workers swapped tales of Sir Henry's secret sessions, some claiming he sold illicit images to private collectors. A journalist, Thomas Harrow, sniffed a story, interviewing former models in secret. Their accounts, trembling voices, tales of coercion, painted a grim picture. By 1883, Harrow's investigation uncovered a network. Sir Henry wasn't alone. Other gentlemen, cloaked in artistic pretense, ran similar studios, exploiting London's poorest women. Harrow's findings sparked outrage among reformers, but Sir Henry's influence held firm. He hosted lavish soirees, deflecting accusations with charm. Eliza, trapped by shame, returned to his studio, hoping to reclaim her dignity. Instead, Sir Henry's demands grew bolder, his art veering into darkness. As whispers turned to shouts, London teetered on the edge of scandal. Would anyone dare challenge a gentleman's power, or would the city's silence bury the truth? By 1884, the cracks in Sir Henry's facade widened. Thomas Harrow, relentless, published an exposé in a radical newspaper, detailing accounts from 5 women, including Eliza. The article, though anonymous to protect them, described artistic sessions that were anything but. Locked doors, veiled threats, and images never meant for galleries. London's elite recoiled, but Sir Henry dismissed it as slander, his allies rallying to his defense. Charles Worthing threatened to sue, while MPs called the exposé sensationalist filth. Eliza, emboldened by Harrow's work, confided in a reformer, Miss Clara Beaumont, who ran a shelter for destitute women. Clara, fierce and principale, gathered more victims, their stories mirroring Eliza's: coercion, shame, and ruined lives. They formed a secret alliance, meeting in Clara's candlelit parlor to plan their stand. But Sir Henry struck back, hiring detectives to intimidate weaknesses. One woman, Mary Poole, vanished after a late-night visit from a cloaked figure. Fear gripped the group, yet Eliza refused to back down. The turning point came at a public exhibition. Sir Henry, ever brazen, displayed his art, unaware that Clara had infiltrated the event. She confronted him before London's elite, accusing him of exploiting the vulnerable. Gasps filled the room as Eliza stepped forward, her voice shaking but clear, recounting her ordeal. The crowd, torn between shock and denial, began to fracture. Sir Henry fled, his charm crumbling. The press, sensing blood, turned on him, printing lurid headlines. By 1885, Sir Henry faced ruin. His allies distanced themselves, and police, pressured by public outcry, raided his studio. They found locked cabinets filled with photographs, hundreds of women, their faces etched with fear. Sir Henry vanished, rumored to have fled to Paris. Eliza and Clara, though scarred, became symbols of defiance, their courage exposing a hidden epidemic. But the scandal's cost was heavy. Many victims, shunned by society, faded into obscurity. The scandal reshaped Victorian London. Sir Henry's flight left a void, his name a byword for depravity. Reformers like Clara Beaumont pushed for laws protecting women, though change was slow. Photography, once a gentleman's hobby, faced scrutiny. Studios were regulated and artistic pretexts questioned. The press, emboldened, dug into similar cases, uncovering a network of exploiters across England. Eliza, though never fully healed, found work with Clara, helping others reclaim their voices. The public grappled with the scandal's implications. Victorian morality, rigid and unforgiving, had shielded predators like Sir Henry. silencing victims with shame. Newspapers debated, were these men monsters or products of a flawed society? Thomas Harrow's exposés won him acclaim, but he mourned the women lost to obscurity. Mary Poole's fate remained a mystery, her name a whisper in Whitechapel's alleys. The scandal exposed the era's hypocrisy. Gentlemen, cloaked in respectability, had exploited the powerless. The legacy endured beyond 1885. Clara's shelter grew, inspiring women's rights movements. Photography evolved, its artistic potential reclaimed by ethical practitioners. Sir Henry's story, fictional yet rooted in real Victorian scandals, became a cautionary tale, retold in novels and lectures. It warned of unchecked power, the cost of silence, and the strength of those who speak. What drives a society to shield its predators? The answer lies in the shadows of Victorian London, where one woman's courage lit the truth. How far would you go to expose a hidden crime? Eliza's fight demands we question power and justice. Share this tale, and let's uncover the secrets of the past together.